people. Today I made some sense. Anyway, peace. Love ya. I made a lot of painting today. I painted my face and I painted a small cake. This is actually lovely for a what you call it? A birthday cake. You know when you go out with your friends and or your boyfriends or your girlfriends, you want to surprise your friends, then you can just bring this because it's so small. You can just put it inside your bag, your LV bag, and just go to a cafe and you can just take this with you and you can share it together. And this is lovely because you know there's some special touch from you, and also it's just tiny and it's so easy to make. You know, promise, this is actually very easy. Even though, like, I painted a face on it, it's not that hard. You know, I make it more like easy so it can easily be followed. And here it is. I'm just gonna show it to you guys. That's a lady. You might think that it's hard to make, but promise, it's not that hard. And flowers. So I don't know. Looks like a mermaid and stuff. And then you put some candles in it. And then you just go to your friends and then you can just like, happy birthday to you. Isn't that sweet? That's actually very nice, you know, rather than buying an expensive gift. Like, I mean, I don't mind getting some LV bag, but better because it's more like personalized and beautiful like you know. So if you want to have, I don't really talk like this normally, but you know, since I'm in the videos, I better do that. Anyway, so that's really nice. It's so easy and straightforward, and you can really learn from it. It's not like it's hard job. I hope you're gonna watch it tonight. Okay guys, so what's the drama today? The drama today is I'm just going to make a small cake and I'm going to paint it. What's with the flower in there? Well, that's just an inspiration. You know, when you're painting, you need to put on something like that's for me. That works for me. It might not work for you, but for me, it does work. I just put on some colors and nice makeup, and it does let me feel good. You know, having makeup on, you know, I feel good. So that's why I normally put on makeup and some nice flowers and just feeling like, and some perfume. Put yourself into the mood, like feeling. You know, so I don't know what I'm gonna make, but anyway, I'm making something wonderful because today I'm alone. My sister has so much orders lately, and then there's so much leftovers that not everyone can eat it, so I don't want to throw them away. I have just this one here, you know, because I'm making a cake just for myself. They were out today. I'm alone because I wanted to be alone, you know, so I'm just going to press them all in here. So this is how it looks like. So this is leftover, so I'm just gonna press it in here. So mango and chocolate goes well, very well actually. So this is mine, okay? I don't normally do this when I'm doing it for you. Yeah, okay. So I love mangoes. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. It doesn't need to be left over, but it's very compact and it would be enough for even 4 people. You know, if you have some fork with you and just stick in and then share. Sharing is loving and caring is loving too, you know. It was so cute. So that's done. And now I'm just gonna put some ganache in it. So I'm just gonna lightly cover it. Beautiful, right? But this is really a cool idea to impress your boyfriend or your loved ones or your friend or guys. If you want your ganache to be super fine, that's fine already, right? But if you want to have it really super fine, you can soak your spatula, your small spatula, in a boiling water, dry it, and then just kind of more like you can see it shines right away and it gives a nice finish. If you want to paint it directly, then at least refrigerate it for about 2 hours. Otherwise, it will soak a lot of paint, and you're just painting and it will just soak up, you know.
So it's like it needed really a gesso, so it would stay there. Gesso. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I just gonna cover it with paste, sugar paste. I'm gonna use some what you call that, cornstarch, just tiny bit. So I'm just gonna remove this. I'm just gonna make it really fine. So guys, we are ready to paint. So I have red and yellow and green, kind of green and lighter green. And then I have plenty white. So there's pink in here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna use them. I'm just gonna get, and then I'm just gonna see if I need it later. And then I have this lovely dark green tint. They're actually nice. So I have vodka. Make your color liquidy, you know, and then some water just to clean your brushes. So I have everything in here, guys. I have all that color, different color. So it should be like that, so you can see that. And then I'll have some tea first because I'm dying for a cup of tea. So I have some jasmine tea. Wait, again. It's really nice. So I'll leave it that in there. Possibly need in here. So first I'm gonna use the big one. They're just round and big. It is round, it's just it has to get wet and it becomes flat. But it is round. It's okay. You can use flat as well. It's just that I have it handy. And first I'm gonna use with white and this light green. I'm just gonna mix it, and then I'll just paint it all over. Put some what do you call it, vodka to make it more wet. I'll go dark later. So I'm just blending the green color here, and now I'm adding the green tint just to serve as my guiding color for the contrast. So I will be blending this later on. This will not be actually nice. This will just help me what color, you know, that I'm gonna use later on, what color that suits best for this color. So I just put it in there because I really love this green. We can go on, so I'm not going to concentrate. Normally I don't really concentrate in one area because I get to what attached to it and I can't move on to other areas. So I'm gonna start again in here. So that's just my way, you know. It might not work with you, but just see how it goes with you as well, you know, because I don't want to be very concentrated in one area and just forgotten the whole thing, you know, because I like to look up the whole painting or the whole concept as one rather than jumping from one ideas to another. So yeah, so I go up in here and then I'll work around them, you know. So that's how I start, especially with a small what do you call that, a material, or I'm not gonna talk now. I'll start with red. So I'm just making a, what do you call that, it's like letter C, inverted letter C, you know, but this is just the guide. So you make it more like thicker at the lower side, and then it has curved at the end lower side, you know, and then make a little darker in the top, you know, and then put some line that would correspond as a an eyelid. So make it thicker a bit there, just using red color, and then a line which represent the lips. Yeah, So it looks like that afterwards. So there's the lower lid, and still using the red color. I'm just spotting a bit in there, and now I'm forming the chin. So the inverted C just guiding me how I could do that, or getting the proportion. So you just blend it. So I'm not using any color in my brush right now. It's just, you know, the color that what you have in there. I'm just blending it. Now I just get some green. It's a green color, you know, the tint, dark green. I'm forming the eyebrows. So you just blend it that way. And then another dark color, and then I'm just making it stronger red in there, and then forming the nose, just defining it, you know. I need some dark color, so I'm just getting some purple. You know, purple would be fine, brown is fine, or black. And then I just gonna line it at the lower, or the upper lid, you know, making it a stronger effect. There you go. Clean your brush and dump it with white. It's white color in there. I'm just you know, dumping it there, so it looks like it attracts some light, so it has some glitz. And then I just add pure white on the cheek and the upper cheek, so then blend it with that red that you have already, you know. So then add it there. So it's more like blending really together. Just put some white in there. Clean your brush. Then mix your red and your yellow and white, so it gives you some kind of skin tone color. So just until you reach the color that you want, you know. Then I just use that as the not highlighters, but as a contour to define around the face. We'll have some more red on the cheek, so I'm just gonna refill that. So layering of your color is a great idea too, because it gives more tone, and you know, it defines more of your face. But if you don't, it's okay. If you're not quite happy with it, then you can just stay as well, you know, the one that you had made, and then you can apply some white. It gives a highlights, you know, it gives some contrast with the dark you have in there already. And then you just making it fine by blending it. Then you have a finer effect of your painting. Now I just gonna go down here. I'm just defining that neck, so the woman looks like it's looking up, you know. So the inverted C, again, it's just your guide, you know. So I'm just applying some skin tone in there, and I will make some what do you call it, hair.
You can also use a big brush because I'm not really finding it, but I like to use a smaller one so I have more control in making, or forming or defining the hairlines. But we will make the hairlines pronounced later. So I'm gonna go down here again. So I like to jump from one, area to another, so I will not be more focused in one area and then forget the rest of the painting. So you just kind of play around, don't think too much. Just play. This is what my little sister do. She plays a lot. Yeah, now we're defining the neck area. Now we can change with a bigger brush. It's the round one we have, because you can pick up more pigments. Then change with a smaller one again, and then let's try and work in this here. So we'll try and use the arm and paint the arm. So at this point, I feel safer now, I know I can just go straight because I've done, the profile and the proportion that I want to achieve. I have done it already, so I can just continue. So you're just gonna blend it in there, so the dark sides that you don't want, you just blend it. And there you go. I'm just covering that. Need the dark at this point. Then I'm adding a little bit of white in there. So it looks like you can't put it that way, like the hair was it's just a windy day and it turning towards that direction, the hair. But then I could also like change it, and you can't put it that way, but I can also direct my paintings into a different way. So here you have so many options already. So you can just leave it like that and just kind of blend the colors, and then concentrate more about how your hair will go, and your paintings. But I'm going in a different way, I think. I'm gonna go down with his hair. So you can see, you can really change your painting. You can actually direct it into more like the woman, you know, like having a bath or swimming in water, making like a mermaid, or just looking up in the bright, you know, the moonlight, or yeah. So whatever really you want to add on. So that's the beauty of the painting. You know, you have hundreds of possibilities what you can do along the way. You know, well, that's how I paint. I don't really like have something in my mind. I always like just paint and just go, you know, where I think it is nice to continue. But of course you can see possibilities, and yeah, so I'm bringing the hair down, you know, instead of just letting it go in the sides. Or it can be a one in the sky. You can make it as your angel, you know. You could, if you can see the shades and stuff, you could easily like create something different. You know, sometimes it's great to kind of more like stop and look at it, you know, but I tend to kind of more like continue. But it's good to stop and see where you are going. So now I'm just applying some red colors with a bit of excuse me, red, and then a bit of white, and then some green and light yellow. So just to kind of mix it. It's not really a defined flower I have in there, but it's just like, you know, painting that it looks like a flower, giving an illusion that that's a flower. Of course it looks like a flower. So you have to play with your dark and light color to create the form that you want. It's kind of quite wet in this area already because of the you know, so much color, the hair that I had painted, and then this one on top, and it's still wet, so it's kind of mixing there a bit, but it's okay. It gives a nice contrast as well, you know, so I don't really mind. This is how it looks. So I kind of like she's under the water if you actually emphasize it more, but I'm not going that direction. But you have so much option, and now I'm just blending that color in there, you know. That's the first color that we have painted, just to kind of give us the color we want to know. So you can actually leave it this way as well. Just leave it that way, like a girl. So I'm just adding some petals. So randomly I just add it around and just kind of, you know, looks like a flower almost. And then we can define it later on. So just put it in there. No really what you call it, accurate form. Then we can define or refine rather after a while by adding some dark and light color. So obviously I'm just using red and white in here, you know, just mixing the white and the red, and it gives you a lighter tone. And I use as well the yellow, so it has a little bit of nice contrast. So I just blend it, so there's no really, you can just make a streak and blend it upward and downward motion and sideways, you know. So I give you that nice movement, you know, the whole painting would looks like it's moving if you give it more like plenty different strokes. And yeah, and now just cleaning a bit the too dark areas. Yes, just brushing it a bit. So I'm just using a red and white. I just mix it a bit and then I add it in there. So that's color tends to be kind of like orangey or peachy color. And want to define it. So I use some green, you know, the dark green we have, put in the middle. Some white, some red, and just making another petals. Still how to paint tiny flowers in your macarons. So this is how it is. You just kind of add a little bit of white and it just looks like a layered petals. As you can see, you can put like, the flowers as if it's just floating or moving, and it's different, facing different direction. So it gives a illusion that it is moving actually. And those who's watching it, it's kind of more like you want to study the painting rather than just looking in it, and then you get the idea what it is. But it's nice as well. I like a painting where I can actually study what it is, and how it was done. So it looks like, when you add some more color and movements, you kind of stroke different strokes, then it looks like your water is actually moving, it looks like a current. So I'm using actually a bigger brush, the big brush I have in here. So it's up to you. If you can really pull that, then use it. But a tiny brush with a pointed tip would be great with this. Just sometimes I'm so carried away with my paintings that I don't think much of the brushes that I'm using. But it works okay. So I'm just using that, showing that it's okay to use one brush actually when you do painting, but it can be kind of tricky sometimes when you need to really refine or make a big definition on one object, so a certain object. So it's nice to have, of course, different brushes. But it's still possible to paint with just one brush. And if I have to choose, it would be round and big or bigger. And then you can use that in all your shapes and forms. So I'm using a very light motion, Once you're almost like you can see, just very light stroke. I'm not really like, it's a very light stroke. So I'm just playing with white and red in here. There's dark green. And I just blend it so it will not be so striking green. So you can add more petals by just adding light color and dark. Now that's another way of doing it. This one here, that would be now when nearly ready or finish. So I'm just adding some 24 karat gold leaf because I'm gonna enjoy this and eat it.
So there you go. That's the finish. Beautiful. She's quite alive to be eaten. You need to kill her first. No, not kill her. That's not what I meant. Hola. Thank you for watching, and please keep tuning. Subscribe yet? I would really appreciate if you do. Thank you.